From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Sunday, May 17th, 2015. Silver is trading at $17.50 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,224 per ounce. And according to BitcoinAverage.com, the average price of Bitcoin is $239. Antiwar.com reports one of several controversial amendments to the House version of the military spending bill, which passed the House on Friday in a 269 to 151 vote, will end all funding for implementation of the 2010 Strategic Arms Reduction Treaty, New START. The amendment was introduced by Representative Doug Lamborn of Colorado, who has been an outspoken opponent of the treaty and is using recent tensions with Russia over the annexation of Crimea as a pretext to pull out of the pact. New START replaced the SORT treaty and limited the number of deployed nuclear warheads of both the United States and Russia. The treaty was always something of a work in progress, as it left open the question of U.S. missile defense systems in Europe, something Russia continues to oppose. The expectation, however, had been that the relatively modest limit it set would survive any disagreements. For over 35 years, Roberts & Roberts has been a trusted source for buying and selling your investment-grade precious metals. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and permanently removed the minimum purchase order for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on investing and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 850-478-5270 or online at rrbi.co. UPI reports Nebraska Governor Pete Ricketts announced on Friday that the state purchased lethal injection drugs as state lawmakers advanced a bipartisan bill to abolish the death penalty and replace it with life without parole. Nebraska's legislature voted 30-16 to move the bill to a final vote that would send it to the governor. Ricketts, a Republican, vowed to veto the bill, saying the repeal of the death penalty puts the safety of the public and Nebraska families at risk. The bill appears to have the 30 votes needed to overcome Ricketts' veto. Friday, the American Civil Liberties Union of Nebraska filed a request to determine if the state acquired the drugs legally and ensure it did not violate federal import laws. Danielle Conrad, executive director of the Nebraska ACLU, said Nebraska's past attempts to obtain lethal injection drugs have been legally suspect and full of problems, including wasted taxpayer dollars and false promises. We are committed to holding state officials accountable. The state currently has 3 inmates on death row who have now exhausted all of their appeals. Assistant Attorney General Jim Smith said the state could now move forward to seek an execution date. Nebraska has not carried out an execution since 1997. In 2009, the state switched to lethal injection, but has never used it. The debate in Nebraska comes as the U.S. Supreme Court is examining whether midazolam, an anti-anxiety drug and depressant, violates the 8th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, which bans cruel and unusual punishments. Midazolam has become the last-chance execution drug for many states. Beginning in about 2008, the pharmaceutical companies that make thiopental and pentobarbital, the first choice in execution drugs, cut back their availability for executions. FPP Radio News is brought to you by Coinbase. Coinbase is a simple and secure online Bitcoin wallet for sending, receiving, and storing Bitcoin. I trust Coinbase. You should too. Get started at coinbase.fppradio.com. That's coinbase.fppradio.com. Reuters reports an Egyptian court on Saturday sought the death penalty for former President Mohamed Mursi and 106 supporters of his Muslim Brotherhood in connection with a mass jailbreak in 2011. Mursi and his fellow defendants, including top Brotherhood leader Mohamed Badi, were convicted for killing and kidnapping policemen, attacking police facilities, and breaking out of jail during the uprising against then-President Hosni Mubarak. The court's request drew condemnation from Amnesty International and Turkish President Tayyip Erdogan. A final ruling is expected on June 2nd. The court sought capital punishment in a separate case for Brotherhood leader Kharit el-Shatur and 15 others for conspiring with foreign militant group Hamas and Hezbollah against Egypt. The rulings, like all capital sentences, will be referred to Egypt's top religious authority, the Grand Mufti, a non-binding opinion. Egypt's State Information Service said criticism of the ruling reflects ignorance and lack of accuracy and is an infringement on judicial independence. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.